tell you here on the show, don't we, about the mainstream media, you know, whether it be print, broadcasting, online, digital, that sort of stuff, and how they sort of create a narrative that doesn't seem to matter whether it's true or false. You have to say, though, certain members of the British monarchy over here get a worse rap than most people. Now, some people might say that, of course, it's their own fault. They brought much of it on themselves. But other times you do kind of think, really, you are clutching at straws to paint a negative. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. As ever, lovely to see you today. Hope you're all keeping well, whatever you're doing. Yes, I can't believe it. Can you? Christmas has gone already. Seems like a blur, doesn't it? You know, where do these things go? I was talking to someone recently and everything just seems to career ahead. Don't know what it's like in your part of the world, by the way, but, you know, we get forced over here straight away into the next thing, you know, New Year, then, of course, Valentine's, and now already we've got Easter eggs on the shelves of the supermarkets. And you kind of think, well, hang on, you know, that's April, you know, March, April. Can we not just have a rest, a bit of respite, you know? Oh no, you've got to keep spending, you've got to keep moving forward, haven't you? A little bit like this former royal, seemingly, of course, now disgraced. We're talking about the Duke of York, His Royal Highness, Prince Andrew, who's not had the best of the last few years. And as we also told you, the mainstream media were very quick to wave a flag and say, oh, guess what? He's not going to be invited to the royal walk down at Sandringham on Christmas Day. Once again, we told you the truth. Once again, they got it wrong. But it was this particular quip that I have to highlight to just prove how bad people do treat people, particularly over here within the mainstream media, if they decide they dislike you to such an extent. You will recall that this particular clip is where Prince Andrew went over to one of the crowd because they basically said it was very chilly. Now, let's not forget, when you're standing in line at Sandringham, it's a damp, you know, place. You know, it's been cold, it's been rainy, partly snowy previously, and you're on a field. Of course, your feet, your body is going to be cold, particularly if you've been standing there 3 to 4 hours. Now, this particular person wasn't complaining. They just made a very quick quip. And what happened was the former royal, known as Prince Andrew, came over and said, oh, you know, if you want to know a tip, you can put newspaper down. That keeps your feet warm. That was escalated into Prince Andrew's weird tip. You know, what is he saying? What does it mean? How nutty has he become? That sort of stuff. It's absolute nonsense, let me tell you, because as someone who reports on the ground, standing for many hours in certain spots, particularly in places like Buckingham Palace and 10 Downing Street, to name two, you are recommended to either bring some tin foil and stand on that, yes, or indeed a cardboard box, because obviously the cardboard is not directly you know, got onto your feet, and it does help you keep a little bit warmer. So in fact, the ex-royal's tip of newspaper, a few layers, is actually a very good tip, you know. I just wanted to, as I say, clear it up, because it's just childish, isn't it, the way they pick at people and make them look to be stupid, and you think, well, I've done that before today, you know. As I say, tin foil's the best one, but you've got to be you've got to be careful with the tin foil, because if you move too quickly, you can slip. And of course, a cardboard box is a good one. You know, I'm talking about things that have had fruit or certain things in. Very good. But then as it gets damp, you've got to lug it around with you. Not a good look. So in fairness to the former royal known as Prince Andrew, what he was trying to do was be kind, you know, positive on Christmas Day while meeting members of the public, knowing full well that not everybody wishes to see him there. And as I say, I'm not out to defend him. I just simply bring you the news straight down the middle. So for these newspapers to be rather cruel and claim, oh, you know, what a weird and wonderful tip, you know, as he got off his rocker. No, he was simply being kind on what should be one of the kindest days of the year. As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.